Good morning, dear students. Today we will start 6th semester Kashmir University BG, and this is the first lecture for the 6th semester. Inshallah, I will complete the whole of your syllabus. You have not too much, you have only 2 credits, but we will complete that. In your syllabus, first of all, few minutes will spend upon the syllabus. First of all, in your syllabus there is the, in case of prose, in case of literature, there are 2 essays. Number 1, how to judge globalism, and another is I have a dream. These are 2 prose in your syllabus, and also there is grammar in your syllabus, but not, I can say that is not practical, that is descriptive grammar. Number 1, essays. Number 2, précis or summary. Number 3, advertisements. Number 4, emails. As it is known to you that your exam is objective type, so you have to read deeply. You have to study in between the lines. You have to study that is very deep, because nobody knows which objective will be posed in the examination by the examiner. So for that, you have to study very deep. Yes, now today we will start this prose section that is written by Martin Luther King. I have a dream. It is at page number 116 of your textbook. If you have textbook, this is your textbook, 116 page number. Yes. First of all, I will use this smart board, as well as I will teach you according to my own way. Oh, yes. First of all, we will study something about the author, because I already told you that you have to study deep, because your paper will be in objective type. First of all, Martin Luther King. Who was a Martin Luther King? As from your textbook also, and we will see from here also. First of all, we will see from here. You have to remember that Martin Luther King, one second. Yes, Martin Luther King was born 15th January and 1929, and he died on April 4, 1968. Maybe because I already told you that your exam is objective type, maybe they may say this. He was of American Baptist minister, you have to remember this, an activist who became the most visible spokesman and leader in the American civil rights movement. You have to remember this, that whose leader he was. That is American civil rights movement, which has been started by America, that USA, it is leader from 1955 till his assassination, that is till he died in 1968. You have to remember these points. King advanced civil rights through non-violence. You have to remember that, as I told you, that he has started the civil rights, but he has started this in non-violence matter, as Gandhiji has started here in India. Civil disobedience inspired by Christians' beliefs in non-violent activism of Mahatma Gandhi. As I have already told you that he was influenced by Gandhi, as has been done by Gandhi, the same has been done by him. He was the son of he was the son of early civil rights activist and minister Martin Luther King Sr. Maybe they will say you, what is meant by this junior? There is written a junior. Actually, his father's name was also Martin Luther King, but now he is called by senior, and this he is called by junior. King participated in and led marches for the black rights to vote, designation, labor rights, and other basic civil rights. And he had, in short, he had worked for the basic civil rights. King led in the 1955 Montgomery bus boycott, and there has been started a bus boycott because in USA at that time the blacks were not allowed to sit in the buses with the whites, and so they have boycotted, and he has become the leader of that movement and later become the first president of Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SCCL. Maybe they will say you, what is the full form of this? You have to remember this. And he has become the first president. Maybe they will say you that what is the position of him in this? As a president of this, he led the unsuccessful Albany movement in Albania, Georgia, and helped organize some of the non-violent 1963 protests in Birmingham, Albany. इतना आपको याद नहीं रखना है, खाली से याद रखना है कि कब उसने ये प्रोटेस्ट किया है, कितने किए हैं, थोड़े ये याद रखना है. King helped organize the 1963 march. ये आपको थोड़ा याद रखना है कब उसने ये मार्च किया है ऑन वाशिंगटन पर. While he delivered his famous speech, जो वाशिंगटन में उसने एक स्पीच दिया है 1963 में, जो हमारे सिलेबस में है, ये आपको याद रखना है. आई हैव ए ड्रीम स्पीच ऑन द सिटी ऑफ साफ, ये भी याद रखना है. कहाँ उसने दिया है? लिंकन मेमोरियल, वहाँ एक बिल्डिंग है तो जो इब्राहिम लिंकन की मेमोरी के लिए उन्होंने वहाँ बनाई है, तो वहाँ ही उसने ये स्पीच दिया है. ये आपको थोड़ा याद रखना है. यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दिस दैट वायर ही हैज डिलीवर्ड द स्पीच, that is at the place which has been erected in the memory of Abraham Lincoln. You have to remember this. 1 second maybe. These are some also important points that he has won the Nobel Prize. You have to remember this. He has won the Nobel Prize. Nobel Prize, you have to remember the date. You have to remember the date. That is 1964. 14th October was the date. For what? For combating racial inequality through non-violent resistance. Yani ki he had started the movement, as I told you that in the USA there was made the difference on the basis of caste, color and creed, and he had started a movement against that, but in non-violent manner. And for that he has been awarded the Nobel Prize in 1964. You have to remember this. And you have to remember this, in 1965 he helped to organize 2 of the 3 ceremonies, but it is not too much important. Yes, this is in our syllabus. You have to remember this and we have to study this. Yes, I think that this is sufficient, but still I will recapitulate here that I told you that he was the first president of yes, he was the first president of Southern Christian Leadership Conference. I told you that when he was born and when he died, that is 1957, 1960, that he is in the office of the Southern Conference from this to this. You have to remember this. And details born in Michael King Jr. Actually, this is his name. And born on 15th January 1929, Altena, USA. And died on 4 April 1968, only at the age of 39. You have to remember this. Cause of the death, he was assassinated, that is, he was killed by gunshot, that somebody has fired upon him. Yes. That is why is his tomb at this time, that is residing place. First of all, Martin Luther King Jr. National Historical Park, suppose name of his mother, name of his wife, children, parents. As I told you that his father's name was Martin Luther King Sr. These are his relatives. This is his education. He has completed his BA from Morehouse College, and he has completed his PhD from Boston University. I told you in occupation he was Baptist minister. He was known for, I told you, civil rights movement, and that in peaceful way. I already told you that he was awarded the Nobel Prize. You have to remember the date, 1964. And another award was awarded to him, that is Presidential Medal of Freedom. But after his death in 1977, another award, Congressional Gold Medal, but that also after his death posthumously 2004. Yes, this is his signature. This is his house. You can see these are the things which are important for the Martin Luther King according to examination point of view. But I told you that we have to study his speech which he has delivered in the USA at the Lincoln House, and which has affected so many Negroes, that is black people, as they were exploited by the whites of USA. You can see also from your textbook, maybe there may be some important point which we have not discussed, but we have discussed it all. Still you can see from here. Now we have to start this. I have a dream. I have a dream. Yes, please wait. I have a dream. Actually, this is a speech which is delivered by this Martin Luther King in front of the audience. And in this speech, he says that he has a dream that the day will come when there will not be difference on the basis of the caste, color and creed in USA. As I told you that there was made the difference on the basis of the color. The whites, they think themselves superior than that of the blacks. Yes. I have a dream, as I told you, is a public speech. You have to remember that it is a speech delivered by Martin Luther King, public speech. That was delivered by, I told you, American civil rights activist. I told you that he was civil rights activist and Baptist minister, Martin Luther King Jr. during the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. This speech, the protest was started for the march on Washington for jobs and freedom. Maybe they may say you that. What was the purpose of that protest? You have to remember. And you have to remember date, it is very important, very important. August 28, 1963. In the speech, King called for civil and economic rights. You have to remember which rights was the motive of his speech. That is civil and economic rights. Civil and economic rights. And to the racism in the United States. As I told you that there was made the difference on the basis of the color. The blacks, they were not allowed to sit with the white people. The blacks, they were not allowed to travel in the buses along with the white people. And they were even forbidden to drink the water from the wells which were used by the whites. This is why. Yes. Delivered to this is the number which was present there, the people. 250,000 civil rights supporters from the city of Martin Luther, of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington. This is the place where he has delivered the lecture. You have to remember this. You have to remember the name of the place where he has delivered the lecture. That is Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. This is the place where he has delivered this lecture. The speech was a defining moment for the civil rights movement. As I already told you that it is main motto is civil rights movement. And among the most iconic speeches, one second. In American history, it is considered very important speech in the history of the USA. Beginning with the reference to the Emancipation Proclamation, he has started his speech with the Emancipation Proclamation. Maybe in the examination they may say you how he has started his speech, with which there may be 4 options. That is Emancipation Proclamation, which declared millions of the slaves free in this 1863. You have to remember this. This Emancipation Proclamation was framed by Abraham Lincoln when he was the president of the USA, that there should not be the difference on the basis of the caste, color and creed. All should be treated equal. And at that time they have signed this, but documentary, it was on the documents, on the papers, but in practical life it has not been applied. So he started with this. King said, 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. These are the actual words of the Martin Luther, because these are with inverted commas. This is what he has said in that speech. Very important line. What he said, 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. He says that on the document they have signed it before 100 years that there will be no difference on the basis of the caste, color and creed. But still the Negro, still the black people, they are slaves. They are not free. Toward the end of the speech, now when he concludes the speech, at the end what he says, King departed from his people text for a partly impressive peroration on the theme, I have a dream. That is, at the end he said that what is his dream, promoted by Mahalia Jackson's cry. Last at the end what he says, he has said what is said by Mahalia Jackson's, tell them about the dream, Martin. He says this, they tell the people of the USA, tell the whites, what is the dream of the Martin Luther King. In this part of the speech, which most excited the listeners and has now become, it is most famous now, that has become most famous. King described his dream of the freedom and equality. That is, his dream was that there should be the freedom. All should be equal, freedom and equality, arising from a land of slavery and hatred. At that time, there was the slaveliness, slaves. As I told you that the blacks have been treated at the time as the slaves, and they has been hated. John Mackham writes that with the single phrase, Martin Luther King joined Jefferson and Lincoln in the ranks of the men who have shaped modern American. That is, he has taken quotes from their speeches. The speech was ranked the top American speech of the 20th century. In 1919 poll of scholars of the public address, it is considered very important, very good speech, very prominent speech. The speech has also been described as having a strong claim be the greatest in the English language of all the time. It has been considered the great speech in English language for all the time. Yes. 1 second. Yes. The March on Washington for the Jobs and Freedom, which I told you, was partly intended to demonstrate mass support for the civil rights legislation proposed by President John F. Kennedy in the Martin. I have told you this speech title and writing. King has been preaching about the dream since this 1960 when he gave a speech to the National Association. 1 second. We will see where now we will start. One second, because if we will narrate the whole, that may take more time. So I will see it summary, because otherwise it may take time, because then you become bored when you watch the video. We have already gone through this. Oh, yes. Yes. Wow. Yes. I have a dream is unforgettable speech delivered or given by Martin Luther King to millions of American blacks and whites on August 28, 1963. You have to remember the date. And you have to remember at that time there were both, the audience were both blacks as well as whites. Not only blacks, both. The speech represents the hopes and dreams of all the American blacks who have been struggling for their rights and freedom. And the dream is about the struggle and about the freedom of the blacks. Though the American Constitution and the Declaration of Independence have promised equal rights, justice, and freedom to all the blacks and whites. This is not implemented in practice. As I had already told you, that in the Constitution they have framed that there should be equality, but in practical life it has not been applied. That is what is said here. In American societies, there is still strong racial discrimination. There has been made this discrimination on the basis of the race, on the basis of the color. Injustice was there, hatred was there, and other inequalities between whites and blacks. This is important. The whites, they consider the blacks superior to them. The blacks are hated, neglected, and tortured in practice. As I told you in the very beginning, they had been hated, they had been tortured by in one way or another way. In American societies, there is still a strong racial discrimination. There was a racial discrimination. Injustice, hatred, and other inequalities between whites and blacks. The blacks are hated, neglected, tortured because of their black skin. They have no fault of theirs, but they have been tortured. Why? Because of their color, because they have the black skin. This is injustice. Yes. And they are treated to be slave and are exiled in their own country, even though they have been exiled. Exiled here means to take away from their country, यानी कि जिसको हम उर्दू में कहते हैं जलाई वतन करना, यानी कि they have not been allowed to sit in their country. They live a very poor and miserable life among the rich whites. They were poor, the blacks were very poor, and the whites, they were very rich. Only the whites enjoyed the rights of the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. The whites, they enjoyed the life, and they were free, and they were happy. But these blacks, they were suffering. Luther King arrested the American blacks and says that they should continue their struggle until they establish equality, peace, and brotherhood in America. Now, this speech, as I told you, that it is delivered by Martin Luther King. In this speech, the main motto of the speech is that they should struggle for equality, peace, and brotherhood. You have to remember these three things. This is the main motto of the speech. However, their struggle should be without violence. There should not be violence. He insisted upon this, that the violence should not be there. There should be the non-violence. You have to remember this. He says that they should fight their rights without causing physical violence, which may cause bitterness and hatred. That is, with the help of violence, it is known to you that it may cause bitterness and hatred. They should follow the path and philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi. As I already told you that he has followed the path of the Mahatma Gandhi, who has started this non-violence in India. If they keep on struggling in a disciplined way, they will achieve their aims. He said them that they should be disciplined. In the disciplined way, they will achieve their aim, that is, they will get free. Luther King hopes that one day, 1 second. What was his hope? What was his dream? But he says, they will, yes. Luther King hopes that one day the chains of the hatred, racial discrimination, injustice, and inequalities will be broken. That is, he says that these days they are in the chains. These blacks, they are in the chains, but they will be vanished one day. That is, there will be no difference on the basis of their color, that is, of hatred, racial discrimination, injustice, inequality, that will be broken. The new sun will rise with the rays of liberty. There will be liberty, equality, peace, and brotherhood. Luther King urges that there should be an immediate change in conception of whites. That is, there was the conception in the whites that they are superior and the blacks, they are inferior, but they will change. Racial and color discrimination will weaken the foundation of the America. This is clear. if we will make the difference among our own citizens, that weakness, any country, and same will be the concept of the USA. Luther King says that his dream is dream of America. It is not his own dream, but it is a dream of his country. His dream is the dream of the freedom, that is dream of freedom, justice and equality. These are the 3 pointers. The color of the skin is not important. Color of the skin is not important. You have to remember that we are Kashmiris, and it is known to you that Sheikhul Alam, who says in Kashmiri, Sanashushan Krahanantikalan, Sashushan Dilkan Halan. Yani God does not look your color. Our one man is not judged by his color, he is judged by his deeds. Yes. What is important is in the humanity. Therefore, one day all discrimination and inequality will disappear. This will disappear. One day they will come. All the blacks and whites will walk together, joining hands as brothers and sisters. He said that one day they will be together. They will be joining hands, both blacks and whites. At last, not only blacks, all American people will be free. Everybody will be free. There will not be only the blacks. There will be sweet music of liberty, justice, equality all over America. This is what he says. I hope that you have understood. Still, if you have any doubt, please send me the feedback. Feedback is necessary. I always say you that feedback is compulsory. Feedback is necessary. It is not this that I can say that I am 100%. I am this. 1 second. I cannot say that whatever I teach, it is 100% perfect. Maybe there may be some loopholes, but I hope that you will send your feedback. Feedback is compulsory, and maybe I will change accordingly. And I hope that if you like this lecture, you will subscribe my channel and you will share this with your other friends, relatives. Thanks. Goodbye.